One of Twitch's biggest streamers just shared the most heartbreaking news of his life. Asmongold's father has passed away. But the story behind it is deeper, more emotional, and more raw than most fans ever imagined. For years, his father wasn't just a background figure. Fans knew him as Asmondad, a down-to-earth voice who would sometimes call into streams, crack jokes, and even complain about his son's messy house. He was part of the show in his own way, a familiar presence that made Asmongold's world feel more real and relatable. But earlier this year, something changed. Asmongold suddenly started talking about stepping away, hinting that his father's health was in trouble. At first, it sounded like a small setback. Pneumonia. Treatable, right? But then came the shocking twist. Doctors discovered his dad wasn't just battling an infection. He was facing acute liver failure. And then the devastating truth: pancreatic cancer. The news hit hard. Asmongold described nights spent on the floor of his father's hospital room, refusing to leave his side. He told fans how the chemotherapy seemed to do more harm than good, dragging his dad through endless complications. Breathing problems, blood pressure crashes, nights so rough that he couldn't even sleep. For a man who's built his career on gaming and laughter, this was raw, heartbreaking reality. And here's where the story takes a turn that fans didn't expect. In September, right as he was juggling multi-streaming across platforms, Asmongold quietly went live and admitted something no streamer wants to confess. He couldn't keep streaming. His father's health was spiraling, and he needed to be there full-time. The chat exploded with support, but there was an unspoken fear lingering. Would this be the last time we'd see Asmongold for a while? Only days later, the confirmation came. His father had passed away. The announcement was brief, almost impossible for him to say out loud. "A few days ago, my father passed away. It's difficult for me to even find the words for the emptiness it leaves me with. He was my last family member in the state, and I was there with him until the end." The community erupted. Fans flooded social media with tributes. Fellow streamers like Hasanabi offered condolences, reminding everyone that Asmondad had been more than just a parent in the shadows. He was a presence, a voice, someone viewers felt they knew. Clips of his call-ins resurfaced. People sharing stories of how his humor and honesty balanced out the chaos of streaming. And for Asmongold, this wasn't just a personal tragedy. It was a turning point. The man who often joked, ranted, and stirred debates was suddenly showing his most vulnerable side. He wasn't the unshakable MMO king. He was just Zack Hoyt, a son who had lost his father. Why did this matter so much? Because it pulled back the curtain. It reminded millions of viewers that behind the avatar, behind the YouTube uploads and Twitch streams, there's a real human being carrying real pain. And sometimes the biggest story isn't a scandal, a feud, or a viral clip. Sometimes it's the quiet, heartbreaking truth that connects us all.